It's gonna take more than fancy talk to keep me up all night crawling around these bushes. More fancy talk.
All right, hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to Fancy Talk, episode 7. I am joined by my two co-hosts tonight, Bud from the Shape of Horror podcast, and everyone's favorite villain, Jake Blaster from Jake Blaster Productions. How you guys doing tonight? Good. It's nice. Yeah. Green. Wait, is the Incredible Hulk on your list? I don't think so. I don't think so. It's true. That's true. I'm excited for tonight's topic because, we talked about it, or we kind of, we're going back and forth on it, obviously, and we came up with it, and then, started doing a little research besides the obvious things that were in my head, and I was like, oh man, this is going to be fun. There's a lot of people, a lot of villains to talk about here. Hold on a second. Can you guys hear us in the chat? You guys can't hear us? Hold on one second. We might be. How about now? Chat? Can you guys hear? Hold on one second, guys.
Scoggin says. Alex says can't hear Jake.
Hold on one second. Now we got a little bit of an echo. Try now, Jake. Talk.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me now?
I think we're good now. We're good now. Yeah. Sorry, that was a Bud mistake. No, that was me. that was me. That was me.
Guys in the chat, thumbs up. Are we good? Can you hear me? Because I've got a lot to say. So can you hear me?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Can they hear me?
Can you cue up the Price is Right losing horn for push?
For me? Sure, I can do that.
Yeah, please.
I royally butchered that. Absolute chaos.
You know
wow.
what? We still love you. I'm sure the people in the chat still love you. Okay, Paxton says all good, because what I was saying was, I was basically saying that this channel is horrible and that you should unsubscribe. No, I'm kidding. No, what I was saying is that I wrote down I think I wrote down more villains than how usually for the list, I think I've written down 10 or 15 or 20 people. But for this list, I wrote down 30, and it was so hard to kind of narrow it down. But yeah, I mean, like I said, there's going to definitely be some that are on my list that I don't think anybody's going to have, including you guys in the chat. So I'm real curious to see what not only you two guys are going to have, but what everybody in the chat's going to have. It's an interesting list and certainly a very fun list to make.
Yeah. This is the list I enjoyed the most putting together.
It was fun. Definitely fun.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of, villains are always fun to talk about, and then you combine that with, the fact that we're doing the 80s, and there's just so many classic movies, even movies that aren't very popular that, we might all, like or have some nostalgia with, so there's just so much. So yeah, I'm with you. This was, if not the most fun, right up there for me as well. So Bud, what do we got going on in the world of entertainment lately here?
Well, several Halloween Ends TV spots are trickling out. I think a new one dropped today, which was the most interesting that we've seen so far. It spoils 3 deaths that I saw. You have to kind of look close. It's really really quick, but um, I don't want to. Do you guys want me to tell you who?
Well, I mean, no, you don't have to tell
No.
me. I watched it real quick, and I didn't pick anything up. But like I said before, I think that I think I said this last week on Fancy Talk. That I don't think we're getting, guys. I don't think we're getting another trailer, like a minute, half, 2 minute trailer. I think we're into TV spots now, and just my opinion. I could be wrong. I think they're just going to continue with the TV spots because literally we are to date a month out. And I just think that if there was going to be another lengthy trailer, that we would have gotten it before they went into these TV spots. So,
Well, tickets are going to go on sale here soon, and I think we'll get something when that happens. So there has to be something.
It's interesting. Maybe they
It
could
may-
just be hammering home, like, they could just have like 7 or 8 different TV spots. It would be an interesting strategy.
Yeah. And also, this week, the pre-orders for the vinyls for the soundtrack went live.
okay.
There are a couple of different versions that you can get. But if you go look at the art for those, there are certainly some spoilery things contained in that. So if you're
In the artwork.
but yes, with the artwork,
Oh.
on the artwork, there's definitely a shot of Corey with Allison. I mean, it's not really spoilery. We
Yeah,
kind
there
of
is. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
what you're talking
I
about.
saw
I've
that
seen
one.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then on one variant on the record, there's another mask. It's a very creepy looking mask. I don't know if it's something that's worn in the movie, but I have a theory that maybe it contained in the title sequence at the beginning with the pumpkin.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
wondering if maybe we're getting the splitting open of the pumpkin again, and this might be the face that is inside of it. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But if you want to go check it out, it's if you go to sacredbonesrecords.com, you can look at the variant. If you look on um, the record itself in the center, there's a picture of the mask that I'm talking about. So if you guys want to go check it out, I don't know the context of it within the movie, but this is just my guess. So
Yeah.
definitely go check it out. It's really fucking creepy.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, before we get to the next our next thing, let's go to the chat and just acknowledge everybody that's
Yeah.
here. Allie's here. James Morant's here. Says, "What's up?
Mm.
I'm back." Where'd you go, James? I didn't even know you were gone, man. Paxton Scoggin says, "What's up? What's going on, man?" Let's see who else is in here. Shane Emerson's in here. I saw Shane. Entertainment Wizards here, and Scott Stevens,
yeah.
just showed up. So yeah, everybody get your lists ready. Top 10 80s movie villains. Get those lists ready. This should definitely be a fun one tonight. But as Bud's talking about the Halloween Ends TV spots, I'm sorry, but I didn't mean to stop your momentum there. Just wanted to acknowledge.
Oh, there's no momentum. That was really it.
Okay.
If you watch the TV spot today, there's a bunch of really cool shots of the shape that we haven't seen before. We saw in the trailer where he's kind of reaching through and grabs Corey in the throat down in the tunnel.
Yeah.
You kind of get to see what's grabbing him on the other side. It is a really cool shot of the shape. So it's really quick stuff, Flash and
I did notice that. I actually did notice that without pausing it. I did notice that shot. I was gonna pause it just to see it, but I didn't have a chance to go frame by frame with this thing. Shane Emerson says 3 times trivia winner, has entered the chat. That's true, Shane. But you won Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and really, what I want to ask you is that's something that you want to be bragging about. I'm just kidding, man. No, Shane did. Shane took home the title of Rob. He's a 3-time winner.
So hold on, he's won. What is that? 30%.
He won Halloween 4.
So there's been 10, right?
I think he did. He won Halloween 2, or no?
No, he won
Halloween 2.
Yeah, he won Halloween 4. I think he won Resurrection, and then Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Yeah.
And then we'll have an announcement about the trivia. We'll get into that at the end, but
okay.
There's going to be a trivia announcement. And we'll get into that later.
Stay tuned for that.
So they've also been just quickly getting back to ends, and then we can move on. But have you guys noticed they've also come out with a lot of promotional images lately, like more than usual, and it seems to be a lot of the shape. They're really kind of hammering that home. Whether it's like Empire, I think I saw a couple more today. Where it's just the shape holding a knife. And people are going nuts at it, but it's literally a promotional shot that has nothing to do with the movie.
Yeah, and a lot of those shots aren't going to be in the movie. They're just that. They're
Yeah.
just promotional shots. If you go back to 2018, there's an image there with Myers standing there holding the knife up, and it's obviously There's a few images I could show you that are just weren't in the movie, that they're just promotional images. So don't freak out too much about that. And again, if people are thinking about the mask and the way the mask looks, it's all in how you light the mask and how you present it.
Yeah, I'm actually coming around on the mask. I know we made fun of it, that it had the white stuff on the side of it, but I'm starting to come around on the mask, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, there's been worse masks. We'll say that.
Yeah.
So what else we got going on? What else has been happening in the last week? Cobra Kai, right?
Yeah, Cobra Kai premiered on September 9th. I don't know. I know, Nick, you haven't watched the whole thing.
No, I got 3 episodes left.
Yeah.
I'm excited to finish it up.
Yeah, I imagine we'll hold off before we get too in depth. But
yeah, but what do you guys think though?
I will say this. I think this season hits a lot of the nostalgia bones for me that I think the previous seasons they did great, but this season for I don't know, it just hit me a certain way with a lot of nostalgia. But like I was telling you guys before, the way they brought Robin Lively's character of Jessica Andrews into the show was something that I never in a million years saw that coming. The one thing I'll say about that, I liked it. I don't have a problem with it. But the one thing I'll say about that is, wouldn't that have come up sooner in prior seasons? I don't know. I'm just kind of,
you would
speculating
think.
here, but
you would think.
Wouldn't it have come up sooner? But I don't know. But either way, that was shocking, and I just thought it was a great season. And my 3 favorite characters definitely are Tori, Chosen, and Johnny. I thought Johnny had a fantastic season, and Tori was great, and Yuji Okamoto, who plays Chosen, he was fantastic. I mean, really great.
Yeah, from like the first 7 episodes, like Chosen's stole the show every time he's been on screen, which
he's
I
great.
did not think would happen. I know you kind of mentioned to me how good Chosen was before I started watching. And I was like, okay, but I didn't expect it to be like this, where he steals the show, because something about he's a quieter guy, but he's just reeks of charisma every time he's on screen.
Well, and just the balance of comedy to seriousness to that they do with him, like when he's watching the 90 Day Fiance, it's like just stuff that you don't think Chosen would be doing. It's really and the scenes between Chosen and Johnny are awesome.
I mean, that's the villains from the first 2 movies,
And that's the thing. I thought about this, and I said this in my review, and this isn't spoiling anything, but you cannot go back and watch The Karate Kid or The Karate Kid 2 or The Karate Kid 3 separately as separate movies anymore without thinking of the show Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai just brings everything together and makes it all one big story. You know what I mean? Which is great, because we never thought. I mean, how many times did Karate Kid fans say, who would win, Chosen or Mike Barnes? Who would win, Chosen or Mike Barnes or Johnny? Who would win? And this season, we get to see that. So we never thought we'd get to. How about Johnny being the voice of reason when Daniel's down and out?
That was great. And even Daniel acknowledges it. He's like, oh man.
Just stuff they did, and I know you've seen the episode 5, which is the mid-season finale there. But man, when I just thought when Daniel was standing there with the blood on his knuckles, see, this is what I mean. So this is what Halloween 2018 should have done more of. Daniel is standing there, he's fighting Terry. He's got the blood on his knuckles, and immediately they flash back to the scene in Karate Kid 3 where Daniel's got the blood on his knuckles from hitting the wooden dummy. Perfect. That's absolutely brilliant. It hits the nostalgia bone for people like me and Bud and you and it just it's so well done. Everything they do with stuff like that is perfect, absolutely perfect. So, um,
And
you know, yeah, go ahead, Bud.
did you guys notice at Tori's place they showed the feet of the mother, or I think guess it's the mother.
They did. Yeah, it's the
I
mom.
don't think I
They
got
did.
there yet. Tori's place? Yeah, I must
Oh
not.
yeah,
Well,
Nick's not there yet.
well,
Nick's not
this
there.
is this is no big spoiler, but they show a
She have four
scene
toes or
in
something?
the apartment. Nope, she's just you could just see that there's a person in there and they're bedridden, and
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a thing that's probably going to be paid off in season 6, and I think it'll be big, whoever it is.
I don't think it's going to be who you think it is, Bud. I just don't think it is because
I-
I think
I really
that
don't either.
I think that would have come up already. I think that if that's who it was, I think that would have
No,
definitely
they're
come up.
clearly holding it back, and it is most likely going to be who I'm thinking it is.
If it is her, I will be absolutely. I will just that's where I'll say okay, that's not a good. I don't think that should be it. But I know who you're talking about, and I just don't think that should be.
I assume
but,
you're talking. Well, that's all right. Never mind. I was gonna say I assume you're talking
Just
about
say it.
what's her face from the
Yes,
next Karate
yes.
Kid.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe they're holding out
So-
just because they couldn't get her for this season,
Well,
or they're trying to get her. They're leaving that option open.
I think that maybe just they're holding back a little bit for the final season,
Yeah.
which there may not be a final season, right, Jake?
Well,
Sounds like there
well-
might be a different plan for how they're going to wrap this up.
Well, Billy Zabka said in an interview that they were thinking that they're just throwing around ideas, but somebody threw out the idea of a 2-hour movie to wrap it up. I don't think so. I think what they're going to do, I think what they'll do is they'll go with a 6th season because there's a lot of loose ends to kind of wrap up here, even at the end of this season. I think they'll go with one more season, and I think they'll be done. I would be okay if they ended it the way right now, but I don't think they will. It's the #1 show on Netflix. It's
Oh yeah. Dude.
absolutely fantastic, and
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I think they'll capitalize on
The-
it. They'll
the
probably
si-
do like I
Oh,
said.
go
The writers said they had 6 seasons, so
well, in the scene
Yeah.
where I think it was at the beginning of this last episode I watched, maybe not, but people are walking down the street and you got these, all these Cobra Kai kids handing out merchandise, free Cobra Kai shirts. I feel like that was
Yeah.
Netflix saying, here, this is a cash cow right now. People are buying all this shit. They have Cobra Kai shirts at Walmart. So why would they? What incentive do they have to end it? It'll have to be either a creative choice or one of the main actors saying, hey, no, we got to end this, because Netflix is just gonna want to just keep going to town on this. I know there's spin-off ideas and stuff like that, but it's a cash cow.
well, and I just think that the writers, John, Josh, and Hayden, have earned the. They have the clout to do whatever they want because everything they've done to this point has been fantastic. So if they say, "Hey, we got 6 seasons," who am I to argue with them? Because I think everything they've done to this point, one thing withstanding, and I will not say what that one thing is, but one thing withstanding, they've been fantastic. So if they say they have 6 seasons, then you give them 6 seasons and be done with it. But yeah, I loved it. I actually, this is one of my favorite seasons. It was really, really great to see characters from Karate Kid 2 and Karate Kid and Karate Kid 3 all interacting in the same space. It was really it was something that as a Karate Kid fan, lifelong Karate Kid fan, you never thought you'd see. And it was great.
Yeah.
All right. Does everybody have your lists ready? We'll do one little last bit of news and then go into the list, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those
Yo,
top
Nick, what am I
10
doing?
Top
No, you're
10
good, man.
80s villains. Top 10 80s movie villains.
Yeah.
That's our list tonight. So,
Yep. So what was the last bit, Bud? Were you talking about the strangers? Is that what you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, the strangers. We talked a bit about that on a couple shows back. You guys remember the movie? I think it's a really good, underrated
do
slasher
too.
flick.
Agreed.
I do too.
Liv Tyler is in it. Scott Speedman.
Yep.
But anyway, they announced yesterday that the next Strangers is in fact going to be a remake of the original.
Really?
Yep, it's
When
filming
did that come out? 2009? When was that movie?
2008, 2009. Yeah.
Okay.
So
But,
we're already in remake mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're
bizarre.
filming it overseas. Rennie Harlan, he directed Die Hard 2.
Yes.
and
Yeah.
Two.
couple other
Nightmare
good
4.
90s action.
Nightmare
Nightmare
4.
4.
Why
Long
remake a
Night.
movie like that though? Because you could
I
just
know.
you could just have it in another place. It doesn't have to be a quote unquote remake.
Yeah, I don't
but
think
it's gonna-
just a
it's-
sequel or something. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know
so
why they would have to make
apparently
it.
they did it a remake because they have a plans for a trilogy that are going to kind of
Probably because they want to give some type of
play outside of the-
backstory.
Yeah, but
but
10
it's going
years.
to play it kind of outside
well,
of
it's
the
not
box
10
of
years.
what you typically see. Yeah.
It's a 14 years. Like, I don't know. It just seems
Yeah.
like
but
it's
it-
too soon for a remake.
I mean,
but
a remake should, in my opinion, a remake should be done. Because there's something else going on in the world that is more relevant now that you can comment on. Like Blaster said, it's only been 10, 12 years. Or B, technology has improved so much that it's going to improve the movie, and this movie doesn't even need technology. So I'm just confused.
Well, no,
Well,
it's
are you
definitely gonna be,
trying to segue for a Jaws 3 remake? Because I don't think we need that.
Oh, we need it.
So it's going to be an intimate setting like the first one, like they get an Airbnb somewhere, and then the same people, that we know,
Yeah.
going to be harassing them, and then they said for the sequel trilogy, or they're doing a trilogy, and they said it's going to kind of go a little bit outside of the box from that's what it sounds like, but it's coming probably next year, so be looking for that.
Give it a shot.
Well, yeah, we'll give it a shot. But I thought the first Strangers was fantastic. Great tension.
Yeah, it was.
Really, yeah, it was. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
All
right, are we ready to go, guys?
Yeah,
I'm
Rennie
ready,
Harlan,
man.
Also directed Deep Blue Sea. I forgot about that.
Yes,
That's
with
right.
LL Cool J. LL
Yes.
Cool J. Of H2O.
You just can't
fame.
help it, can you?
No, I cannot. I work. You guys know how my mind works by now.
It's just crazy that it's like you didn't force that; it just came to you.
I can connect anything to Halloween. Okay, anything can get connected to Halloween. You want to talk about trading places? We're going to connect it to Halloween. Don't worry.
That's
All right.
where Laurie Strode went. Okay.
Yes. All right. On
I'm
that
ready.
note, Blaster, let's start with you. We'll go to Bud, and then I'll round it out. So, Blaster, first of all, you're gonna run this again because you are, the fancy talk expert at.
I
these
run
lists.
the top tens.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Yeah. So, first of all, everybody in the chat, start putting those number 10s in there. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you came up with. Number 10, 80s movie villain. And my number 10, excuse me. My number 10 is, I switched this out late. Okay. I had another person in there, but I switched this out late. It's David Lopan, man. David Lopan, the fucking guy. This Lopan character that I ran over through. I mean, David Lopan, come on. The guy is fucking got light shooting out of his fucking mouth. He's after this chick with green eyes. I don't know. He's an old guy when they meet him in there. He's rolling in a wheelchair. Then there's this young, tall ass dude. I love Big Trouble in Little China. Kurt Russell, Kim Cattrall. What's not to love about the movie? But Lopan as the villain. I mean, come on. Do I need to say any more?
No, it's interesting too because he's not really introduced. I mean, I know he's in the wheelchair, like you said, but even that takes place like almost halfway through the movie, and then he just kind of is just this crazy badass villain the rest of the way. It's
awesome.
good. It's a good movie.
It is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Bud. What do you got for number 10?
My number 10 is going to be David from The Lost Boys, played by Kiefer Sutherland.
Very good. Very
Good
good.
one.
Lost Boys came out in 1987, which you can find 4K Blu-ray next week. So be looking for that. But yeah, I think Kiefer Sutherland's pretty good little villain from the 80s, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
he stands out to me. So he made number 10 on my list.
Sweet.
Can't
Adam
argue.
Howard just popped in the chat and says, "What's up? What's
What's
going
up,
on,
Adam?
man?"
I love The Lost Boys, but that's probably my favorite vampire movie.
Yeah, good movie.
There you go.
All right, Nick Push, number 10. What do you got?
My number 10 is going to be Stan Gable from Revenge of the Nerds.
Very nice.
Like a lot of people on probably our list, he's a bully who's, picking on people weaker than him. You know, he's obsessed with taking down these nerds that he thinks for some reason are ruining his life. And it's just classic, you know. He gets dinged down a little bit because he let his, you know, the people he was picking on him, he let one of the guys fuck his girlfriend. But
that's putting it mildly.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, we won't go there. But yeah, yeah. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Revenge of the Nerds. So I had them on my list last week with Ogre and football. So I'm keeping it here. So Stan Gable, Revenge of the Nerds, number 10.
I like it. Okay,
That's my pie.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Push. Why don't you read the chat? Let's kick us off with the chat. Number 10.
All right, number 10. Let me make sure I'm at the top here. I think it's Allie first. Allie has Alex Forrest, Fatal Attraction. That is a good one. Almost made my list. Definitely a classic movie from the 80s. Shane has Judge Doom from Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Another
good one. Yep. I gotta rewatch that movie. I haven't seen it in years.
It's been a while for me too, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's classic, and I just wonder how it holds up now, because obviously at the time it's, you know, cutting edge.
I have questions about the next one.
Paxton Scroggins says Arjun Rudd from Lethal Weapon 2. I think that's the coach. I think that's Bombay's from Mighty Ducks. I think it's Bombay's mentor, right?
Is it? It's not the guy that says diplomatic immunity.
Yes.
It's not that.
Yes, I think it is, right? That's who I think it is.
Well, that's a good one. Then.
Isn't that Gordon Bombay's mentor for the Mighty Ducks?
Bombay's mentor.
That's right.
Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. The guy the guy that owns the hockey shop there with the skates. Yeah. Nice.
James Morant has Brad Wesley from Roadhouse. James, I got my Roadhouse shirt on for you, buddy.
Nice.
He may be brought up again. Scott Stevens has Mama Fratelli from the Goonies. Oh, another great classic.
We were just talking about Mama Fratelli.
We were. Entertainment Wizard has Angela from Sleepaway Camp 2. I haven't seen the second Sleepaway Camp. I've only seen the first one.
I haven't either.
All the sleepaway camps are good.
I will trust Entertainment Wizard.
2 is definitely nice, cheesy fun.
Yeah. Greg Shepard has one that I'm mad I forgot. Will Teasel from Rambo. Just that bug pushing. Oh, that is a good one.
That's a great one. Good one, Greg. Really good one.
Man. And then Jack Obelisk says Chong Lee from Bloodsport.
Chong Lee from Bloodsport.
That's a good one. We were just talking about
that
one
was going to come up.
Yeah. Yep. Another good one. Paxton Scroggins says his name was Hans in Mighty Ducks. That's right. Yes.
Oh yeah, Hans. Yes. Hans. Yeah.
We're gonna
you might hear about another Hans later on. Okay. So spoiler alert. No. All right. So let me go to my number. Everybody, get your number 9s in the chat. Get your number 9s in. You guys know how this works. If you're just joining us, I see a couple new people. Just if you want to pop your number 9. 80s movie villain in the chat. We will read them. Okay, my number 9 was just brought up. Somebody brought it up. Judge Doom, man. You know, he knew he was a tune. He knew it was a tune. And Christopher Lloyd's a great actor. So, yeah, I just you remember me, Eddie, when I killed your brother? I can remember that scene. And it's the whole thing was really like, even the scene in the bar with Doom when he's about to put Roger Rabbit in the acid there. Just a good villain, you know, and a movie that I definitely, like you said, Push, need to rewatch. But I had to put him on this list, you know.
That's a good one.
Yeah, Judge
Doom. Definitely a good one. And Christopher Lloyd does not play villains very often, so that's why it's a unique role for him as well, you know. Right.
No, and he's a great actor. I mean, Christopher Lloyd's great. So. All right, Bud, what do you have for number 9?
So my number 9, this one might be a little bit controversial because it's kind of on the line. But my number 9 is going to be from Superman 3. But it's the fucking evil Superman, you know, and he got the tainted fucking thing from Richard Pryor that kind of turned him into
right.
Remember, he was like blowing out the Olympic torch, and you know, went and fucked up the oil tanker.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I thought it was a nice little twist that you know, Christopher Reeve did very well, and I don't even know what you call him. You just call him Evil Superman.
Yeah, that works.
I don't know what you call him, but I remember he's flicking the peanuts, getting all fucked up, you know, hitting women up for one night stands. And so Superman, Evil
All right.
Superman 3 is my number 9.
Very nice, very nice. Nick Push, number 9 for you. What do you got?
My number 9 is gonna be Francis from Pee Wee's Big Adventure.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I love this movie.
That's a good one.
It's honestly
never
my
will.
favorite Tim Burton movie, believe it or not. It's got some very strange Burton-esque elements and some horror elements too. So I'm a big fan of this movie. So Francis, he's steals Pee Wee's bike, right, or he has someone steal Pee Wee's bike. So
Yep.
so yeah, I'm a big fan of this movie, and Francis is my number 9.
There you go. That's a good one.
There you go.
All right. Let's go to the chat. Let's see what we got. Well, I don't want to miss anybody here. Okay, Shane Emerson says, Mola Ram, Temple of Doom. Good. James Moran says Skeletor, Masters of the Universe. Skeletor is a great villain. Scott Stevens says Russ Thorne's Slumber Party Massacre. Nice. Entertainment Wizard with Mama Fratelli. Mama Fratelli getting a little bit of love here tonight. Allie says Al Capone from The Untouchables. Nice. Paxton Scoggins, Roy Batty from Blade Runner. Nice. Greg Shepard, number 9, Hans Gruber.
Ooh.
I think we're going to be hearing a little bit more about Hans.
I think we're going to hear it more than 20 times tonight.
I think we're going to hear we're going to be bringing up Mr. Gruber a lot. And Shane Emerson says Reeve is his favorite Superman. Yeah, Reeve is a great Superman. To me, he is Superman. I don't know how you guys feel, but to me, Reeve is definitely Superman.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Jack Obelisk says Ivan Drago. You know, you know how many pounds of pressure per square inch? 1,850 pounds. So yeah, Ivan Drago's great. So yeah. All right, so everybody, now we're done with number 9s. Put your number 8s in the chat. We'll read them after we give our number 8s, and I'll kick it off with. Let me get my list back up here. All right, I don't know if anybody's gonna have this guy, but he's a bad motherfucker, man, and that is Tong Po from Kickboxer. I mean, This fucking dude, he broke Dennis Alexio's back in the beginning of the movie when we first see him, and it's like, holy shit, this dude's just a bad. He's kicking the pillar there, and the drywall's falling down when Jean-Claude Van Damme first sees him right in the beginning of the movie, and I mean, he gets his comeuppance there at the end by Jean-Claude Van Damme kicks his ass at the end, but Tong Po, man, with that long ass ponytail, great villain. So that's my number 8. All right, Bud, what do you got for number 8?
So my number 8, I think he's a quintessential comedy villain from the 80s, and I'm talking about Lieutenant Harris from the Police Academy movies.
Yeah.
You know,
Love it.
I thought he was always an asshole. You know, he never kind of had the baby face turn, the Tackleberry, and some of the characters from the first one, they kind of became good guys, but
yeah, he's a great character. He almost made my list.
Yeah, he's
move
good.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
Captain Harris, he's got that thing. What's he got? That thing that he has, his little cane there, his stick.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's all over Mahoney all the time. Yeah. But Captain Harris, great call, bud. Like it.
There you go. That's
okay. Nick Push, number 8.
My number 8 is a group of people, the Nazis from the Indiana Jones movies, and real life, right?
Yeah, right.
But yeah, obviously not in the second movie, but Raiders of the Lost Ark, and then at the end of the decade, Last Crusade. The Nazis are in there, and Indiana Jones, when he encounters the Nazis in Last Crusade, just kind of leans against the wall and he goes, "Nazis, I hate these guys." So yeah, I think it's badass, based on the time period that Indiana Jones is essentially battling Hitler's army. So the Nazis, I'm a big Indiana Jones guy. Nazis had to make my list, so they are my number 8.
All right, good call. Good
I'll
call.
go read the number 8s in the
You
chat.
do it, bud. You do it.
All right, so Jack Obelisk. I don't know if that was his number.
That
8.
was his number 9. That was his number 9. That was his number 9.
Ivan Drago is his number 9.
Yep. James Rance
Okay,
off the number 8s.
Number 8, James Morant, the Duke, and A number 1. I don't know if I know that one.
I don't know if I know that one either.
1. Yeah, I don't know that one either.
Yeah. Entertainment Wizard has the Joker from Batman, Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson.
Flirted with putting this on my list, but
Yeah.
Just
ultimately
missed my list.
outside. Shane Emerson, the good one, Clubber Lang from
Oh,
Rocky.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
For sure. Clubber.
Scott Stevens, the what's his name, Richard Vernon from the
Yes,
Breakfast
Richard
Club.
Vernon.
Yes, it's a
You're
good
good.
one.
Don't mess with the bull, young man. You get the points.
And I think maybe this guy might be his brother-in-law or something. But Ed Rooney from Ferris Bueller's Day
Yes.
Off.
Yes.
You make a phony phone call to Edward Rooney.
Rooney. Pardon? Oh, can I play it?
Yeah, pardon my French, but you're an asshole.
I can't find it.
Okay.
Back to the list. Number 8, Ali Skeletor.
Skeletor.
I wasn't really a big fan of the He-Man. Was that even from the 80s?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
I-
I was a
the
Thundercats guy myself, so.
The cartoon He-Man was a lot better than the movie. The movie wasn't great.
They haven't really done He-Man justice.
The cartoon was way better, but yes, Skeletor is a great villain. Either way. But all right, what do you got for Greg Shepard?
Greg Shepard, number 8 is Fender from Cyborg. I'm not familiar with that movie either.
Yeah, me either.
Oh, Duke from Escape from New York. Okay.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Okay, nice,
Okay.
nice.
Okay. All right. But anyway,
All right,
All right.
so we're on to number 7s.
did that
So,
go? Did you guys hear that?
No.
We didn't hear it. We missed it.
Oh.
Uh,
son of a bitch.
Yeah. So play the losing horn again because you screwed up.
Well, I don't know if it'll go through, but I'll try.
Okay. Well, let's move on to number 7s, and everybody put your number 7s in the chat, and I'll get my list up here. All right, my number 7 was already brought up, I believe, by Allie, but it's Alex Forrest. I mean, Glenn Close in this movie is one bad bitch, man. Holy shit. Now, some people could say, well, she's the victim here. Michael Douglas is a cheater. You could say all of that, but man, oh man, she boils a fucking rabbit. I'm not going to be ignored, Dan. I mean, this movie and Glenn Close, I mean, this movie, like, when it came out, like, scared a lot of dudes that were having affairs. They're like, what the fuck? Like, Glenn Close is fantastic in this role. And what can you say about Fatal Attraction? It's one of the best movies ever. And yeah, she just is like that whole thing when she the whole ending scene, as what I'm envisioning right now. But yeah, she's a great. I classified her as a villain, but
Yeah.
Alex Forrest from Fatal Attraction.
Well, it kind of spawned other movies too, whether it was like Basic Instinct or things like that. It was kind of a movie where we hadn't really seen much like that before, and it kind of spawned.
It was really the first movie like that. Yeah, which kind of
yeah. So
Yeah.
They're remaking Fatal Attraction for Paramount Plus. It's going to be a series.
really,
It's got a very, very, very good all-star cast, I think. So
really.
Well,
be looking for that probably next year.
we'll see how that turns out. But anyway, Bud, I'm sorry, I lost track there. Bud, your number 7. What do you got?
My number 7 is going to be a classic villain from Caddyshack.
Oh yeah.
It's not from Caddyshack 2. It's not Robert Stack. But it's going to be Judge Schmales, of course.
It's
Biggest
easy to
asshole.
grin.
Mhm.
The ship comes in. Sorry, Bud, go ahead.
The world needs ditch diggers too. Judge Schmales is a good, I think, another quintessential 80s villain.
Yeah, classic character. All-time movie. Judge Smales. Very nice. I think I jokingly texted you guys earlier, does anybody have Judge Smales on their list? And Bud said, absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
Before you read these, I got to say these are some really outside of the box that I wasn't expecting. So
For their number 7s? All right, we'll push.
yeah.
Read it away,
I'm
man.
up. My number 7 is going to be General Zod from Superman 2.
Good one.
Great villain. We always kind of wondered, Superman comes to Earth and has these powers. Well, what if someone or some people that are from Krypton that are evil would come to Earth? What would happen? And they would take over the world. He had the president kneeling to him, within a day. He gets downgraded a little bit because Superman outsmarted the hell out of him at the end in an awesome scene to take his powers away. But General Zod, I just thought he was a great villain, and it was cool to see someone using the powers that Superman has for evil and not good. So I'm a big Superman.
For sure.
I'm a big Superman 2 guy, so he's on my list at number 7.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right,
that's
it's
me
your
now,
turn to
right?
read the chat. Yeah.
Yep. All right, number 7. It looks like James Morant is first. He's got Doom from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Yep, we've had that a couple times. Entertainment Wizard has Cropsby from The Burning. I have never seen The Burning. Have you guys?
I have not seen it.
No.
I know what it is. I just haven't seen it. Shane Emerson has Jerry Dandridge from Fright Night. Fright Night.
Good.
I haven't seen that in a while.
On the planet Houston.
That's a good one.
It's a good one. That's a very good one.
Scott Stevens has Edna in 1986 Reform School Girls. Haven't seen that one.
I have not seen that one either, but
Oh, I'm sure there's a lot of hanky-panky going on during that one.
That's right.
It sounds like one of those movies.
Yep. Paxton Scroggins has Jack Torrance from The Shining. Classic.
that's a
Absolutely
good one,
classic.
Paxton. He was the one that I subbed out for David Lopan, Jack Torrance.
Yeah,
but yes,
He's great.
that's a good one.
And he's kind of villainish even before he goes crazy, from having alcoholism and hurting his kid.
Lex Luthor, permission is granted in Lex Luthor because he was in
Superman 2 and 3.
As Paxton brings up Jack Torrance, another Jack Nicholson.
With Allie, she's got the Joker
Allie,
from
the Joker.
1989. Yep, another one that just missed my list, but obviously a classic one. And it looks like that's it for 7s.
Greg Shepard has number 7. He says Lex Luthor. I know it's 1978, but still.
Yes.
Okay,
yes. We'll count him for Superman 2 and 4.
We'll give you a pass.
So Superman 2 and 4, he was in those. So
Yep. So you're good.
And
Greg.
then Shane Emerson
Permission
says,
granted.
Spalding, get your foot off the boat. I want a hot dog? No, a hamburger.
you'll get nothing and like it.
Fantastic. Okay, so everybody get your number 6s in the chat. Get your number 6s ready. And my number 6, Nick Push has been waiting.
Yeah.
Been waiting
Dude,
for
what
this.
is this?
The suspense is going to be over. It is Bull Hurley from Over the Top. This fucking guy.
Oh, man.
You ain't got a prayer in Vegas. I mean, come fucking on, dude. This guy, this is the one guy I literally thought was taking Stallone down. I'm not going to lie.
Do you realize how easy I would take that guy down with my hat backwards right now? Come on.
I'm telling you, this guy was fucking badass. Bull Hurley from Over the Top. Can I get a little props from the chat for that pick?
It is a good pick.
You know what?
I agree. That's a good pick.
Yeah, but he gave Lincoln Hawk his props at the end, though. So is he really a villain?
He's a villain.
Or is he just a working man trying to make a living?
He's a guy. He's a guy that I would not want to be meet in a dark alley.
That's the thing. You could probably look at half of these people if we're looking at something from their perspective, and they're not the villain in their own story. So I mean,
yeah.
I'm calling it right now. They need to do Over the Top, the TV series, and let's rehab Bull, whatever the fuck
Yeah.
it's called.
Bull Hurley, number 6. Okay, Bud. First of all, I know we're gonna get to the chat. James, that is a great one. I know we're gonna get to it, but James, you just caught my eye with that. That's an awesome one, and I totally forgot about that. But anyway, Bud, what is your number 6? Give it to us.
My number 6 is going to be Biff Tannen from Back to the Future. I imagine we're going to hear this name quite a bit tonight.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm already seeing it. There it is.
Biff, can I assume that your insurance is gonna pay for the
We're gonna make like a tree and leave.
my insurance? Your insurance pay for
Let's make like a tree and get out of here. Yeah. So yeah, Biff Tannen's my number 6.
I think Biff Tannen's got to be on everybody's list. I would be
Yeah.
surprised
Yeah.
if it's not. But that is a great one,
Yeah.
bud. We'll
Can't
hear
argue.
more about Biff Tannen, but can't argue with that. Okay, Nick, push round us off for the number 6s.
My number 6 is going to be the T-800 Arnold from the OG Terminator. Obviously, in the second one, which came out in '91, so it's irrelevant, Arnold was not the bad guy. But in this first Terminator, he was absolutely the villain in this movie.
100%.
Absolutely. He was programmed for one thing, and that was to kill Sarah Connor. And he killed many of them, but not the right one. But, I hear arguments all the time that, is Terminator a slasher movie? If he had a knife instead of a gun, would it essentially be a slasher movie? I mean, that's not really the argument we're going to have today, but I don't think anyone can argue that the T-800 wasn't a villain in
no,
the
yeah,
original
different,
Terminator.
totally different in the first movie.
Beginning
the
to
first
end,
movie.
yeah.
Absolutely, and it's got a lot of we talk about movies with horror tropes. There's a lot of horror
Yeah.
elements in that first Terminator for sure. So yeah, I mean, we've debated. I think James Moranda's even asked me a couple times if I think it's a horror movie.
Yeah.
I certainly would classify the first Terminator as horror sci-fi
Yep.
combination.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay, so the number 6s. I'll go to the chat and read them. Allie says Mola Ram from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Cover your heart, Indy. Cover your heart.
Yeah. James Morant with Gans from 48 Hours. 48 Hours is a great movie. That's a great villain. Good job, James. I totally forgot about him. Paxton Scroggins says Brad Wesley from Roadhouse. Yeah, good one.
Can't argue.
Scott Stevens says Mama from Throw Mama from the Train. Now, does everybody know that that's also Mama Fratelli?
Is it?
Mama Fratelli is Mama from Throw Mama from the Train, and that is a great pick, Scott. By the way, that is a great pick. Yes, that is the actress.
She kind of got typecast, didn't she?
The actress's
Yeah.
name is Anne.
Heish.
I'll look it up. Not Anne. Jesus Christ.
And not with us anymore. I think
No, yeah. Shane Emerson is right with you, bud. He says Biff Tannen. Great, great villain. Yeah. And Greg Shepard is with you, Nick. He says Terminator 1, Arnold
Attaboy,
Schwarzenegger
Greg.
was terrifying.
Yes,
he was, man. And that scene when he takes his fucking eye out, like,
Yeah.
holy shit, dude. That is a fucking one of the greatest scenes ever. Obviously, the I'll be back, but yeah, he was
Yeah.
a fucking villain for sure, 100%. And Greg says you and I are on the same page. I want to Anne Ramsey. That's the actress's name.
it.
Anne Ramsey. Yes. Okay. We are into the top 5, folks. Top 5. So my number 5. I don't know if anybody's gonna have this guy, but man, oh man, you want to talk about slasher? This guy his name is the Night Slasher from Cobra.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The Night Slasher from Cobra is a great character. That scene when he fights him at the end, he goes, Stallone goes, "You're a disease, and I'm the cure." Actually, I don't know if he says that to the Night Slasher. He might say that to the dude in the grocery store. But anyway, he just that guy is creepy, man. He is like that whole scene where he goes after Brigitte Nielsen in the hospital when he's got that. It's total. It's like you talk about horror movie. Like that is literally that guy is like right out of a horror movie. He's like central casting. So the Night Slasher from Cobra is my number 5.
It's a good movie.
Bud, what do you have for number 5?
Well, my number 5, you're not supposed to say his name 3 times, but I'm going to do it anyway.
I can't put him as a villain, but go ahead.
He's a villain. He's
Yeah.
Beetlejuice. My number 5.
No, he's kind of a lighthearted villain, but yeah, okay.
No, he's a villain. He's
Okay.
Yeah.
does some pretty villainy things there at the end where he's kind of married a young girl against her will.
It's true.
Okay. We'll give you that one.
He does some villainy things. So Beetlejuice is my number 5.
Yeah, Keaton's great in that. Man.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you get Alec Baldwin, you get Gina Davis,
Yeah.
Winona Ryder. I mean, they're a pretty
yeah.
good cast.
Yeah.
Another
Isn't
Tim
Ed
Burton
Rooney?
was-
Isn't Ed Rooney the?
Rooney's in there too.
Ed Rooney's in there, yeah.
And the mom from
Catherine O'Hara.
Yeah.
That's actually, if you go back and look at that movie's got a great cast. Holy
Yeah.
shit. That's a good one, bud. That is a good one. All right, Push, what do you have for number 5?
My number 5 is someone that nobody will have, I don't think. It's one of my favorite movies, and it is Gordon Gekko from Wall Street.
That's a great one.
Almost made the list.
Did he? Yeah.
I thought about Gecko. He was one of the ones I had written down.
Yeah, he's, I mean, Michael Douglas was pretty much born to play this role. He's so good at playing some rich corporate asshole. So I actually didn't mind the the sequel with Shia LaBeouf either.
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
Yeah,
it wasn't as good as the first one.
No, not even close. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Wall Street. I enjoy the stock market and things like that, and it was nice to see a cynical view that Gekko has, and just the power he had, and how he and the way Sheen took him down at the end, but also kind of took himself down. So Michael Douglas is he's born to play the role. I'm a big fan of Wall Street, so he is my number 5.
That's a very good one.
How'd you do on the stock market this week?
Actually, I've been okay because the stocks I've had couldn't really go down much from the past few weeks, unfortunately. So.
Damn, you still have the GameStop stocks. Come on.
I got the ones that I think are going to be the next GameStop stocks.
You really want to listen to Nick Push for trading advice? I don't know.
Not if you want money.
All right, who's reading the chat? Bud, is it you?
Yeah, I'll take it. Number 5. From
Shane Emerson. Off, yeah.
Hans Gruber.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that's going to be in a lot of top 5s tonight.
Yeah. Hans is going to be mentioned.
James Morant, Bennett from
another fucking great one. James, James has got a fucking solid list. That's another great one.
John! This is one I never in a million years would have guessed I would see or even talk about. But Franklin Hart from
that's a good one. That's a very good one. Yeah, that's a very
famous
good
Texan.
One,
Dabney Coleman.
Very good one.
Allie
I like it.
5, Darth Vader from Star Wars.
Yeah. Is it the first time he's been brought up?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Well, he's probably going to be in a lot of top 5s as well.
Yeah.
I would assume.
Paxton Scoggins, Chucky from Child's Play.
Nice. Just 88. Yep.
Yeah.
Entertainment wizard Russ Thorne from the Slumber Party Massacre. That's a very strange movie.
It is a strange movie. I haven't seen it in a long time.
And then Greg Shepard rounding it out, number 5, Chucky. Again, Brad Dourif.
Yeah, Chucky.
He was.
Yep. He was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows how many homes Chucky bought for Brad Dourif?
Let's see. Just read a couple of comments. Other comments. Allie says it was a good one. Jake forgot about him. It's the Night Slasher. Yes. Still say we should get a sequel to Cobra. I would be in favor of it. I would be in favor of that. Greg Shepard says just watched Cobra a few weeks ago. Cobra's a great movie, man. That's you think of all the Stallone movies, it's one of like the forgotten Stallone movies because he did so many, but it's definitely a very, very good movie.
What about Nighthawks?
Shane Emerson says I do remember Nighthawks, yes. Shane Emerson says there's a Beetlejuice sequel coming. Is that true?
I don't know. I wonder if it's got
to. They better do it because he just turned 71 years old.
Who Keaton did?
Who Keaton?
Yeah, he's 71 years old.
I wonder. I'm surprised. I wonder if Johnny Depp will be in it. If Burton's directing it,
Right. All right. So we're moving on. Number 4. Does everybody get your number 4s in the chat? Let me take a swig of my.
Oh man, we're at 4 already. Jesus.
Swig of my beer here.
This one's going by quick. It's so fun.
And I don't think any of my top 4 are going to really surprise anybody, but my number 4 is John Kreese, and he's just, to me, you talk about quintessential 80s villains, and Kreese is it. The whole scene in the dojo, mercy is for the weak here on the street and competition and all that stuff. Just the way Kreese had a great presence as a villain. You know what I mean? When he was on screen, his scenes were so like. Even at the tournament, even in the final match, I don't know what it was. He just had a great presence. And, Cobra Kai has kind of softened that view of that version of Kreese a little bit. But John Kreese is a classic 80s villain, so I had to put him on.
But even before Cobra Kai came out, if you walked by a random person on the street and said, sweep the leg, they know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh,
right?
no, exactly. Yeah. It's pop culture. It's embedded in the pop culture for sure. So anyway, that's my number 4. Bud, what do you got for number 4?
My number 4 has been mentioned tonight. It was on Nick's list. General Zod from Superman 2.
Go.
A fitting villain to kind of, we got Lex Luthor in the original Superman. So General Zod was a really good, just right up there, I think, with Lex Luthor. I love Gene Hackman. I'm glad they got to have some scenes, but I think General Zod stole Superman 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. General Zod's a good
My
one.
number 4, yeah.
Okay, Push, what do you got? Number 4.
I got my man Brad Wesley from Roadhouse. Blaster called it out before we went on. He texted us and said Brad Wesley's on Push's list. I know it.
Yeah.
I don't know how you knew it.
Well, I know you love Roadhouse.
I do love Roadhouse.
And you and I both. And I love
yeah.
Roadhouse too.
Yeah.
But,
But the scene that exemplifies Brad Wesley to me, and there's a lot of them, rich prick, I get it. But the scene is when he's driving down the road, the 2-lane highway, and he's just swerving in and out of both lanes with not a care in the world.
And he's listening to the song from Clue.
Yeah, yes. And it's basically him just saying, I own this town, motherfuckers. You can't touch me. I mean, it's true until Dalton and Co. took him down. But, he essentially, gets payments from everyone, every business in the town.
Well, and he's got that great line. This is my town. Don't you forget it.
Yes. Good accent.
Yeah. So, that's a great one.
Yep.
Brad Wesley. Okay. Is it you?
I think
Push?
it's
You
me.
reading
I think
number
it's
fours?
me, yeah. All right, so number 4s. James Morant says, what you looking at, butthead? So I don't even need to
Biff.
keep reading to know that that's Biff Tannen.
Yeah, Biff's going to come up a lot here in the next few.
Paxton Scroggins has, who Blaster just had recently, Beetlejuice.
It was
Sorry, it was
Bud.
you, Bud. Sorry, it was you. Yep.
Yep.
Beetlejuice. Yep. Scott Stevens has Heather Chandler in the Heathers. I almost put
Very
that.
nice.
Yep, that's a good one.
Yeah, I thought about that one.
Yep. Shane Emerson has Jason Voorhees. Shane, I don't know anything about horror movies. Who is that? No, Jason's classic, and he was in a shit ton of movies in the 80s. That's for sure. Allie agrees with a lot of us. Biff Tannen, although me and Blaster haven't mentioned him yet, so he might not even be on our lists.
Yeah, you never know.
Greg Shepard agrees with, who said Jason Voorhees? With Shane, Jason Voorhees. Entertainment Wizard says The Miner from My Bloody Valentine.
That's
original.
a pretty good one.
That is a good one.
That's a very good one,
Yeah,
actually.
Cool look, too.
Yeah. And then
And Adam Howard says Stripe from Gremlins.
Oh,
Oh, that's
Stripe.
a good one. That is
Stripe.
a really good one.
fucking A, Adam Howard.
Man.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn,
Well
I
done,
forgot
Adam.
about
Well
that.
done.
Yeah, that's a good one. Shit. Yeah.
All
I'm
right,
gonna have to redo my list.
Yeah, right.
I'm like,
we're at top 3, people.
Yeah, top 3. Okay, my number 3. We just said it, Biff Tannen. I mean, you just can't think of the 80s and villains and people you love to hate and not think of Biff Tannen. I mean, there's no way that you can have a list like this and not have Biff Tannen on it. Forget. I mean, it's just so many quotable lines with Biff. Why don't you make like a tree? Get out of here. Whoa, Biff! What the hell is that?
Say hi to your mom for me.
Yeah, but yeah, I love that whole thing when he especially in the beginning, and I was imitating it earlier when he's talking to McFly. He goes, "I want to know who's going to pay for this. Who's going to pay my cleaning bill?" Just a great villain character. And we talked about how earlier you could even, and somebody might even bring this up, but Tom Wilson, who plays Biff, could even be put on this list for Griff from Back to the Future 2.
Yes.
Mad Dog Tannen, no, because that came out in 1990. But Biff Tannen is my number 3 from Back to the Future.
Can I just say, when they aged him, showed kind of older Biff Tannen.
Yes.
And they fucking nailed that. He looks just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. They did a great job. Yeah. Okay, Bud. What do you have for number 3?
My number 3. Nobody's gonna have this guy.
Okay. We're ready.
He's from Dirty Dancing. He's the biggest piece of shit.
Oh, that's a good one.
Probably from the 80s, the most biggest scumbag piece of shit that ever was in the 80s, and I'm talking about Robbie. The fucking waiter guy.
Oh, I thought you were
Oh.
okay. I thought you were
You,
gonna. I
you,
thought
you
you were
thought
going
you,
with.
you thought I was going Max Kellerman?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought you were going
No,
Kellerman.
Max
Yeah.
Kellerman is small potatoes compared to this.
Robbie, the waiter dude. The waiter, he's a douchebag for
He
sure.
knocked up the dancer chick.
That's
He
right.
did,
But
and then he denied it.
he
and then-
fucking
yeah.
then he wouldn't pay for the abortion.
And then Dalton knocked him out. I
Yeah.
mean, not
Yeah,
Dalton.
Dalton.
I said Dalton. I'm getting my.
Essentially.
I'm getting the streams crossed. Yeah,
Yeah.
It,
It
was,
works.
Dalton, but Johnny
Yeah.
Castle, obviously.
Well, you thought Max Kellerman was worse than this guy?
No, definitely not. Or the other guy I thought you were gonna put on there was Neil, but he's a little pipsqueak.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Robbie's fucking
Yeah, that's a good one.
like,
bud.
like loans baby the book, and he's like, "Give it back to me because I have notes in the margins." What an asshole!
Yeah, that's a good one, bud. I'm gonna give you that. That's a
Yeah,
pretty good one.
that is good.
Nick Push, what do you have for number 3?
I got Darth Vader.
Okay.
Probably, arguably the most famous villain in cinema history. I mean, it's not what more I can say about Vader. Obviously, before I get corrected in the chat, that Star Wars came out in '77. Obviously, Empire Strikes Back and
Yeah, Return of the Jedi.
Return of the
yeah, you're
Jedi
covered.
came out. So in the '80s, and Empire Strikes Back is, if you remember one of our first fancy talks, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. One of my favorite sequels of all time as well, obviously. So I had to have Vader on my list. James Earl Jones's voice really nails the character. So,
Does anybody have a
Vader's
better
my three.
voice than James Earl Jones? Does he have like one of the almost like all-time voices?
If somebody does, I can't think of them right now.
Christian
And-
Slater, maybe.
Man, James Earl Jones. I don't know. Jeez.
I see some good ones.
But that's a good
Yeah.
one. All right, so let's go to the chat and see who everybody's putting in for their number 3s. Shane Emerson says the T-800 from Terminator. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Entertainment Wizard with Freddy Krueger, definitely.
Fucking Morant with a good one that kind of slid on my radar.
Morant's got a solid list, man. He's got a solid list tonight. Clarence Boddicker from RoboCop.
I almost had him, dude. That's Red from that '70s show, right?
Yes.
Foreman,
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
Oh yeah, the delight he had. They just destroyed Alex Murphy.
Oh my God, yeah. Scott Stevens, another good one. Jerry Blake from The Stepfather, that's a good one.
yeah.
Allie says Stripe from Gremlins. Stripe coming up
Yeah,
twice on this
nice.
list so far. Paxton says Biff Tannen. Great, obviously. That was my number 3, so we're on the same page. And Greg Shepard says number 3, Khan from Star Trek 2. That's
Another
a good
one that flew under the radar too.
Very good one. Very good one.
Well,
Allie likes your
no
Robbie
big.
pick. Yeah, Allie likes your Robbie
Yeah.
pick there, bud.
Yeah.
And Allie thinks Morgan Freeman is a villain. Interesting.
Yep. And then Adam Howard says, no, she's no.
I know she's talking about voices. I know. I'm just
Voices,
kidding,
yeah,
Allie.
yeah,
I'm just
okay.
kidding.
Adam Howard says the Predator from number 3.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yep, very
Yep.
good one.
All right, so get those number 2s in the chat, and I will get my list up and give you my number 2. And I believe it was Shane that just was it Shane? Let's see. I want to get it right. Yes, it was. Shane just brought him up. Push brought him up earlier, and actually a few people have brought him up, but it's the Terminator from the Terminator. I
Yeah.
mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger is when he kills that woman when she opens the door. It's like you just feel. It's like just straight fear. This guy you can't. It's like Reese. It's like Reese says. He can't be bargained with. Can't be reasoned with.
Yes.
He doesn't feel pity or remorse, and there's just something fucking frightening about that. He gets shot through the window, gets up, and it's like, holy shit! It just
Yeah.
it-
And
I
that
mean,
police
I'm-
station scene. Wow.
Oh my God, yeah, and so yeah. Again, Terminator 2 is a much different, makes you think of it in a much different way. But in 1984, in that movie, Arnold is a fucking badass, man. I mean, holy shit. So yeah, the Terminator is my number 2. Okay, bud, what do you have for number 2?
Well, my number 2 has not been mentioned once tonight.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh,
And it's
I'm
the
curious.
only female on my list. And it's going to be, she just made it. 1980.
Okay.
But my number 2 is Pamela Voorhees.
Oh
Friday
man,
the
Wow,
13th.
bud.
I didn't even think of that.
But that might be the winner, man. That might be the winner
She-
for pick of the night.
Yeah.
So she had what 20 minutes of screen time, stole the movie. I don't think anybody will ever be able to top what Betsy Palmer did as Pamela Voorhees.
And she just wanted to do it for a car. That's all she wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's all over car, and she put it all, man. She really laid into Alice. That was real slaps. They had to tell her to take it easy on this bitch.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Pamela Voorhees, my number 2.
That's a really good one.
That is good.
Really good one. I got to give you credit for that. Okay, who's reading the chat? Bud, you want to read them? Number 2?
Me.
Yeah.
First.
Oh, you? Okay, sorry, Push.
No, my number 2.
Oh, you're number 2. I didn't I do that last week or
I deserve it for the beginning of this show, so it's all good.
No, you okay. Well, let's go with your number 2.
My number 2 has been mentioned ad nauseum, and that's Biff Tannen.
Biff Tannen, yes.
Everyone knows, a lot of us are huge Back to the Future fans. Like Blaster said, you can't really think of the 80s, villains without thinking of, Biff Tannen. And lest anyone forget that he's not just, a bully. He was going to rape Lorraine towards the end of that
George
movie.
said, "Hey, you, get your damn
hands off." Oh.
I think you got the wrong car, McFly.
Yeah.
Are you deaf, McFly? Yeah, he was, and that was So Biff, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
Biff Tannen. Okay, now I'm sorry, Push. Now you can read the chat.
Sounds good. All right, we're at 2s here. So, starting with Allie, she says The Nothing from The Never Ending Story. Oh, good movie.
Yeah.
Weird movie, but good movie. Entertainment Wizard has Jason Voorhees. Shane Emerson says The Predator. So we've had Jason a few times. Now we're getting The Predator a couple times.
Yeah.
Scott Stevens with Ursula from The Little Mermaid. Dude, that is a good call.
That's a very good one, yeah.
Ursula's
never seen it.
What?
No, that's a very good one, actually.
Do Disney movies. I've never done them.
Dude, Ursula's creepy. The way she tricks Ariel. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a very
good job,
one.
Scott.
Paxton Scroggins says The Joker from Batman 89.
Nice.
Another good one. Mr. Morant has Hans Gruber.
Mr. Gruber.
Greg Shepard has number 2, Terry Silver.
And I wonder, Greg, comment. Let me ask Greg a question and have Greg comment. Greg, does Cobra Kai, does the show enhance the villainous of Terry Silver? Does it make him even more of a villain? I think it does, but that's a great call, Terry Silver. Yeah.
Adam Howard has the Lakeshore Strangler, Charles Lee Ray, a.k.a. Chucky.
Yeah. Damn, that's really good knowledge there, Nick.
And thank you. I'm impressed by that too. And Shane is thinking pretty dark here. So alternate timelines.
All right, so yeah, that is true. He's right about that.
He's not wrong. Yeah. Although she never would have been parked in the car there without Marty, right?
I don't know. Well, I think he's saying maybe the original scripting was that.
Yeah.
No. I think he's thinking if Marty didn't go back in time, eventually Biff would have done that to her, and he is probably 100% right. Or she would have been so scared. Yeah.
All right, but either way, we're gonna let's move on to.
Who wants to take this one? This one's so interesting. Well, it's not really interesting.
Wait, are we on?
We're on number 1.
Okay, so guys, this is we talked about this. Everybody in the chat, put your number 1s in, but the 3 of us, decided before we came on. We have all come up with the same number 1, and
it's not Michael Myers.
Yes. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take turns, kind of a little round table discussion about why we think this gentleman is the number 1 villain. But for me, I'll lead it off, and our number 1s. I hope you guys don't mind me taking the lead on this. But
no, go ahead.
Number 1 is Hans Gruber, and or Bill Clay, however you like to know him as. Clay. Bill Clay. You're pretty fucking tricky with that accent. Yeah, should be on fucking TV with that accent.
Don't kill me! Don't kill me!
Yeah. There's just so he's got this like sophisticated, intelligent, like he's not there for blood if blood needs to be spilled. you know. But he's there to rob the place. I mean, he just I don't know. Hans is there's just so many great scenes. Like obviously the scene with Ellis, you know, Hans, Booby. I'm your white knight. I must have missed 60 minutes. The guy in the building, I can give him to you. He says, give him. I can give him to you. But yeah, I mean, when he gets dropped out of the window, is there a more fucking classic scene? I mean, just everything about Hans is like Bud said, and I'll give you guys a chance here, but like Bud said, everything about him just screams 80s villain. Cold blood murders Takagi, and so anyway, Bud, what do you think about Mr. Gruber?
Gruber is peak 80s villain. Let's say he's like, that's where it all peaked. And then if you look, maybe nobody after him kind of hit that note, but he's unmerciful, fucking just shot, what's his name?
Takagi.
Takagi just fucking counted to 3, fucking shot his ass.
He's there to get what he wants, man.
Shot Ellis even after he gave up John McClane. Just
you wanted miracles, I give you the FBI.
So fucking great. So great.
Yeah.
Alan Rickman, I mean,
his death is memorable. It's a great, satisfying death.
Yeah. Obviously, echo everything you guys said. And let me just say this. With that movie, everything that Bruce Willis did for action heroes, being an everyman, because if you remember, it was always, big, bulky guys, not an everyman. Everything that Bruce Willis did for the heroes, Alan Rickman, Hans Gruber did for villains. Like Blaster said, sophisticated. He's wearing a suit the whole damn movie, and yet he's still shooting a guy in the head. He's outsmarting the FBI. It's just classic. The way when they first enter the building and his henchmen just walk in and he just kind of strolls in behind them. It's badass in a way that they didn't show badasses like that until Hans Gruber showed up. And like you guys mentioned, Rickman just hits every note with him. It's classic. I think Die Hard is it's my favorite action movie of all time, and as much as that is for Bruce Willis, it's also for Alan Rickman. So.
Yeah, he's just like he's unbelievable as I mean, to me, we talked about Biff, and you can't think of the 80s without thinking of Biff, but you can't think of the 80s without thinking. I think everybody has mentioned Hans at one point tonight. But he's your quintessential, like Bud said, your typical quintessential 80s villain. So
yeah.
All right, who's reading the chat?
I think it's my turn, isn't it?
I think so. Yep.
I get to read the ones. Okay,
yes,
let's
sir.
go to James Morant. His number one villain is Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, James, a big nightmare.
I expected that from him. Entertainment Wizards number one is Michael Myers. Halloween 2 came out in 1981.
It did, yeah. Well, and 4 and 5.
Yeah,
we'll allow it. Adam Howard, number one, Tony Montana, Scarface.
That was a good one, Adam.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. I wrote him down. Yeah, go.
Greg Shepard, Terry.
He's saying yes. Terry Silver is evil.
Yeah, he is evil. Scott Stevens, this one just outside my top 10, but Faye Dunaway.
Yeah.
Mommy Dearest. Oh my God.
Good. It's a good one.
Wire hanger, stubber. Alley Girl. Her number one is Ivan Drago. Shane Emerson, Darth Vader. Darth Vader didn't come up as much as you would have thought.
I would have thought.
I just think it's evidence that Star Wars is just falling off a cliff. It's just
I don't know if it's falling off a cliff. I would say if you're not like I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, so that's why Darth Vader didn't make my list. But I could totally see, if they did like a general consensus list, how he would be on there.
Yeah, and I think it all depends on your channel too. If you go to some other channels and they had a similar list, they could have 80-90% Darth Vader, but we talk about we don't really talk about Star Wars, on any of our channels too much. So I think it's kind of.
Greg Shepard, his number one is also Michael Myers, hands down.
Do not have to argue with us on that,
don't
my
have
friends.
to be sorry, man. You don't have to be sorry, yeah.
And Paxton Scoggins with one I kind of expected to see a few times.
Yeah, me
I
too.
expected
Well, yeah,
this
we
one.
didn't see him.
That's Pretty in
I
Pink,
thought
right?
for sure that this was going to be on Allie's list. I thought it's James Spader, Steph McKee, but
Yeah.
I thought this would be on Allie's list.
No, I'm sorry. I have a 1A. Can I give my 1A to go
well,
next?
let's go through. Yeah, let's do some honorable mentions.
No.
because
I have a
many-
one. I have a 1A. It's not an honorable mention. It's Hans Gruber
Okay.
is 1, and then this guy's 1A. And that is, and I know Entertainment Wizard's going to completely agree with me on this. So isn't James Moran.
Oh God.
And Shane Emerson, because Shane, likes bad Halloween movies, but The Man in Black, I don't understand how nobody mentions The Man in Black. The guy,
Dude, that's a Tommy
basically,
gun. Come on.
the guy fucking pulled an Arnold Schwarzenegger. He cleaned out a whole police station.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what to tell you.
Kicks a
the
dog.
guy kicks a fucking dog with his steel toe boot. I mean, the guy is amazing. The Man in Black. Nobody puts The Man in Black in there. Come on.
All right, you guys want to do some honorable mentions? Because I have a big one.
You have a big one? I gotta go to my
I have a
notes
big
list on
one.
my phone here.
I've not. His name has not come up at all, and I'm really kind of surprised, disappointed.
Interesting.
All
All right.
Even though he didn't even make my top 10.
All right.
ahead.
Go
Who
ahead,
is
bud. Go ahead. I got nobody to mention. You go ahead.
This course, Gunnery Sergeant Hartman from Full Metal Jacket.
Well,
okay.
we just brought him
Okay.
up. Didn't I just say that? Or I texted you guys. Nobody even brought
Yeah.
up. Yes, that's
Yes.
a great one, bud.
So I had to take him off the list because
That's a great one.
I had to get Robbie from Dirty Dancing in there. And
Scott,
Gunnery Sergeant Hartman.
Scott Stevens says the
good.
lawnmower in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
That's
Yeah,
a good one. I'll give you an honorable mention that I wrote down, and I don't think either one of you guys have seen this movie. And let me know if you guys in the chat have seen this movie. But Jack Forrester from Jagged Edge, a movie with Glenn Close and
Seen it.
Bo Bridges and is it Bo Bridges or Jeff Bridges? I
Jeff
can't remember who it
Bridges.
is.
It's Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
But that you talk about horror movie slasher elements. That whole movie. Have you ever seen it, guys?
No.
Jagged
I've never
Edge.
seen it. I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
It came
yeah.
out in 1985, and it basically is Jeff Bridges. Basically, the movie opens with him killing his wife. He's all dressed up in this black outfit, and he kills his wife with this long serrated knife. And
The jagged
way, with a jagged edge, and just the way. So what happens is he sends these letters to the police. And he uses this typewriter, and what happens is, like, one of the letters is off on the typewriter, so every time, so they know it's him because it's from the same typewriter.
Interesting.
And what happens is Glenn Close's character starts dating him. She's a lawyer, and she starts dating him, and she finds the typewriter, and she figures out that she's dating the killer, and he shows up at the end of the movie. I'm spoiling the whole movie, but anyway, Jagged Edge, Jack Forster, with Glenn Close, great movie, and he was one that I wrote down but did not put on.
Another honorable mention would be Mr. Body from Clue. Would be another honorable.
Yeah.
Mr. Body.
Yeah.
Mr. Body, that's a good one. Who came up with that?
Me.
You did?
Yeah.
I'm shocked. I think Joe would be very happy with you.
Yeah. Well, that'd be number 1 on his list, probably. Or it could be any of them. They're all kind of villains, aren't they?
Yeah.
Maybe. But yeah, so there was a lot that I wrote down and that didn't make the cut. But
Yeah. It was tough. It was a fun one though.
The
So
Giggler from Death Wish 3. That's a good one.
that is a good
Yeah.
one. That is a good one.
it's always fun to talk about
Giggler,
80s
man.
movies.
Oh yeah.
It's
Ooh,
always fun to talk about 80s movies and all.
Paxton says Carter Burke from Aliens. That's a good one. That's
that definitely
what's
is a
his
good one.
face? Paul Reiser. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
And-
what
and what
do we
about
got going on?
Victor
Oh, sorry. Go
Maitland?
ahead. Who?
Well, I'm sorry. What about Victor Maitland?
Oh, from Beverly Hills Cop?
Beverly Hills Cop.
That's a good one. Yes.
And how about Bud? You jokingly said text us earlier and said that I think Jake has the big bitch from Beverly Hills Cop 2. She's a great villain, man. That's first of all.
Bridget Nielsen? Yeah.
First of all, that's Ivan Drago's wife, Bud. So I would watch your tone, okay? And she's fucking badass in that movie, man.
Yeah, she is.
You know.
Eat the floor. Eat the floor.
I'm sorry, Bush. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say. So next week we got good news and bad news, everyone. The bad news first. There is no fancy talk next week. We got some scheduling conflicts, so it is going to be the week after, and I believe it's going to be on Jake Blaster's channel. Pending.
We'll go off without a hitch.
Okay. All right, you beat me to the punch. That's the bad news. We'll have a good topic for you too.
Wait. Is it the bad news that there's no fancy talk, or is it the bad news that it's going to be on my channel?
The bad news is that there's no fancy talk.
Okay.
The good news.
Yeah,
that is that your channel is a great channel. So.
2-week hiatus.
Yes, 2-week hiatus. But the good news is to tickle your fancy until then.
Nice,
Bud,
like
you got. Thank you. I'm proud of that. I just thought of it. Bud, you got something going on your channel, which we're going to be a part of next week, right?
Yes, we were gonna do Halloween 2018. We were gonna do that Sunday. Due to football season and all that, I've decided we're not gonna do trivias through football season on Sundays anymore. So we're going to move Halloween 2018 trivia to Tuesday, September 20th. And I think we're going to do Tuesdays.
Works for me.
Trivias for a while. So over at the Shape of Horror podcast, Halloween 2018 trivia, September 20th.
Yep. And if you're watching this after the fact, because I'm fairly certain everyone in the chat is subscribed to all three of our channels. If you're watching this after the fact and you want to get to that trivia, Bud's channel is linked in the description, as well as Jake Blaster's channel linked in the description. So go give those guys a watch and a sub, because the three of us collectively have a lot of fun stuff coming up, and then the three of us individually, obviously, as you guys know, we kind of do our own thing as well. So it's the best of both worlds for all of us, and if you enjoy this kind of stuff, it's the best of both worlds for all of you too.
So I just want to point out something. Joe has just popped into the chat, so he must have heard, his ears must have been burning. Joe, we're talking about
you.
We're talking about top 10 80s villains. Can you please tell me if you would have Mr. Body in your top 3? Mr. Body from Clue.
Yeah, no. Who from Clue would you have in your top 10? Would it be Mr. Body?
Would it be all of them?
Yeah, it could be any of them. It could be Mrs. Scarlet. Like, she's pretty villainy.
How about Mrs. Peacock? She's pretty villainy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colonel Mustard really isn't. He's like, I made all my money during the war.
To answer your question, Paxton, he says, do we have a top 10 for the next Fancy Talk? No, we do not yet, but we will announce that as soon as we do.
Yep.
So
we'll
the reason we changed the reason we changed this week's topic, besides the fact that we came up with an awesome topic, was we just kind of wanted to work out the kinks in the way we wanted to word that. So if you made a list on Halloween side characters, hold on to that list. We're just kind of working out what the qualifications are and things like that. So we wanted to make sure we didn't confuse anybody before we do that. So because we hate to say you can't use this person and you guys made your list. So we'll work it out, save it. We'll get to it at some point. So don't worry if you took some time to make a list like that, because we definitely appreciate you guys taking the time to make your list, because it makes this show fun for us.
Yeah, and it just like what you just said, the interacting with you guys in the chat and having you guys here with us, it does make the show so much better. Obviously, we love talking. We all love talking, because it's what we do. But we love giving you our top 10s. But we love hearing your top 10s, and a lot of you had some really good ones that we didn't think of. James Morant had a few that I was like, wow. And somebody brought up Stripe from Gremlins. I think Adam Howard brought that up, and Allie had it at Stripe from Gremlins. So just cool to see everybody's lists and how it all shakes out. But yeah,
it was a good one. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, right. I agree. So anything else in closing, my friends?
No. Just go watch the rest of Cobra Kai, man. Go watch the rest.
I will.
Yeah, finish that up so we can talk about that shit.
All right, I agree. All right, everyone. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, guys.
Good night, all.